Hello, YouTube. I can't believe I'm finally doing this. I launched my Instagram a little while ago, like a couple of years ago or something, and really I've just been wanting to do long form videos, so that's kind of what I'm here to do is so that you can get to know me and hopefully I can get to know you too. So let's start off like, who am I? Why am I here? Why am I even talking and creating a video? Let's jump into that. So I guess it all started in 2009 after I left a really bad relationship. I was in an abusive relationship. I ended up going to court for 3 years, but during that process, I was like so depressed. I felt like I couldn't even go to the bank or the grocery store by myself. I felt like I couldn't make any decisions. So like every part of me just felt stripped. I was stripped of my confidence, stripped of, decision making. Like something as simple as, like I said, going to the bank was so terrifying for me. And so one of my friends told me, they're like, why don't you start going to the gym? It'll make you feel better. It'll release some endorphins and like maybe that will help. And so that's exactly what I did. And I actually went to the gym and I did the exact same workout every single day for like, I think like 6 months or something. And then somebody saw me at the gym and they were like, what are you doing? I noticed that you do the exact same workout every day. Like, have you ever heard of a plateau? And I was like, I had no idea what that was, obviously, because I was so new to it. But basically, if you don't know what a plateau is, it means that you've like reached your peak with what you've been doing. So that's kind of your signal that you should go change your workout to make things more challenging so that you continue growing and progressing in the gym. And so I wasn't doing that. I was doing the same workouts every day, same weights. I didn't even do progressive overload, so that's, slowly increasing your weight so that you can continue progressing. So it was just, yeah, like I reached my plateau like probably after like week 2. Anyways, so I got there and this is after that bad relationship. I had more confidence just by going to the gym because I was making a decision after decision after decision. So it would be like, okay, so what exercise am I going to do next? Okay, I'm going to do that. And so I started doing those things and that really helps with my self-confidence and just, having that reassurance like, okay, yes, this is good for me. This is what I'm going to do, all that stuff. Anyways, fast forward, I ended up going a little bit deeper into the fitness industry and becoming a bikini and figure competitor. So I did that from, I think it was like 2013, I started prepping for my first show and then I competed in 2014. I did 2 shows that year. The next year, I competed again. I ended up going up to nationals, but I did not become an IFBB pro, not even close. But so obviously that's not why I'm here is because I'm some like fitness influencer that made it. I really didn't. So if I'm being candid about it, I did not do very well. Either way, it was a really good experience for me because it just really helped build up my self-confidence. So I was on stage the first time. I think I came like second last. And that was in May 2014. And I remember I was so scared. It felt like my teeth were chattering on stage. But then eventually I was like, okay, you know what? Let's try this again. So I did another show later that year in October and I ended up coming second and third, second in figure and then third in bikini. And that was like, I felt like I was on top of the world. I was so happy. But because I did the first show in May and then that other show in October, I didn't really spend any time doing a reverse diet or taking time off. Like I just wanted to come back better than ever. So as you can imagine, I was in a really, really big deficit. After that October show, within, I think it was like 2 or 3 days, I had gained 14 pounds. I was so swollen. My skin hurt. It felt like everything was just one giant bruise. Like even having a blanket on me felt like it was just too much. And that was just because I was so inflamed. Like I went hard after. Like I ate all of the things way more than I should. So that's what kind of led me to where I'm at now, which is, focusing on health. So at this time, I thought that I was in like the most healthy place, because if you had abs and you were shredded, I thought that that was a measure of what your health was. Obviously, that's not true, and I know that today. And that is what kind of led me here, because during that time frame, I actually lost my period for 6 months. I didn't get it back after my show for another like few months later. It took a while, but then after that, oh my goodness, my period cramps were so bad. My period was all over the place. Like I would get it like every 3 weeks, or it'll be every 2 weeks. Like it was all over the place. And so I started realizing, okay, like maybe this is not normal. I kind of like stayed on that for a little bit. I continued competing up until 2016 or 2017. I can't really remember. But eventually I got out of that space. I got out of that space entirely, and I just started trying to focus on my health. So I also gained a lot of weight after I finished competing, and it was because I was in that chronic cycle of like, let's be real here, it's like a calculated eating disorder. I was yo-yo dieting. I was going and doing a show, then I would rebound and I would eat a bunch of food, and then I would go and do another show again to lose it. Every time it just got harder and harder and harder. And so by doing all of that, I kind of, you know, really neglected my health, because it was just all aesthetics. Like I just wanted to look a certain way, whatever. That kind of brings me to today. So today I am now in school for holistic nutrition. I've completed a nutrition coaching course with NCI. I'm also a personal trainer. I was doing personal training back then too, from 2014 to 2018, I think. And then I kind of took a break. I joined the corporate world, and yeah, and now I'm kind of back in the space, because I realize that every single time I get to talk about health or fitness, this is what lights my soul on fire. This is what gets me so excited. And so that's why I'm deciding to do this YouTube channel, is just to kind of like share my passion with you. Like right now, I'm personally going through a health protocol. I'm working with Nutrition Dynamic, and we are doing things to address like dysbiosis, SIBO, H. pylori, candida, basically all of these really bad bacterial overgrowths. And so let's dive into that just a little bit deeper. So 2022 December, I got engaged. Oh my God, don't look at my nails though, but they're really bad. But yeah, got engaged. So happy. And then I started thinking, okay, wait, I have really bad brain fog and I can't stay up past 8:30. So if we get married next year, so this is now 2023, am I going to be able to stay awake long enough to be at my own wedding? And so that was kind of what prompted this whole thing. I was thinking about it before too. Like I always write my New Year's resolutions, and like this past year was really like get my hormones and health in check. And so that's exactly what I'm doing now, is just focusing in on all of that. And so I started off by, it all starts off with one call, obviously. I can technically do this myself, being a holistic nutritionist, but there was something about it. Like I wrote my own protocol. I had it reviewed by one of my instructors, and everything was okay. They're like, yep, go ahead, do it. Sounds great. That should work. And then when it came down to it, I just kept second guessing myself. And this is the same reason why people don't really coach themselves. Like you can't be subjective, and your emotions get in the way, and it's easier to place the responsibility on somebody else than it is to, have it on you. Like now, not only do I have to try to get my health in check and stay awake for my wedding, but I'm also trying to, reach my goals in losing some weight before my wedding. And it's April 21st today. I don't know when this is going to be posted, but today is the 21st. My wedding is in like 3.5 months. I started this a couple of months ago. So I want to say like 2 months ago now. And at the beginning of the year, my like main focus was like, okay, let's just lose weight. So I kind of put this on the back burner, and I wasn't going to focus on doing the nutrition dynamic coaching, because I was like, you know what, like maybe I should really just focus on losing weight. And then I was like, but if I focus on my health and my body responds well to it, then maybe that's all I need to do in order to fix my problem. If so, I did a cut last year and I gained a lot of weight, like more weight. Did I say a cut? I meant to say a bulk. I did a bulk last year and I, was only planning on gaining like 5 to 7 pounds. Well, your girl ended up gaining like, I want to call it like 20, 25, something like that. And I know that most of it like it wasn't fat, it was a lot of inflammation. And so I started losing weight at the beginning of the year. I dropped my own like, I think it was like 7 or 8 pounds on my own. And then since working with them, all I did was a flush. And so started getting my liver to just work properly. And that dropped some of the inflammation. And now I'm like 11, 12 pounds down total. So like 7 pounds from me, 6, 7 pounds from them. Together, it's going in the right direction. And so like now I know for sure this was definitely the right move to just focus on my health. And that's what I'm looking forward to doing when I'm finally graduated and finished my holistic nutrition program. But yeah. All right, so to get us back on track here, because I go off on tangents. So I started my call with them. I was connected with like another coach, and it was really nice being able to communicate with somebody about this and like just like bounce ideas off of. And we share a lot of the same, thought processes when it comes to health, because they're a functional medicine team. I'm holistic nutrition, and the two of them it's very holistic the way that it works. And so yeah, we just started talking about like test results, doing certain tests and all of that. And it's good for me because I'm the type of person who has a lot of anxiety when it comes to anything medical related. As soon as something hurts, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. It's really bad, and that's something that I definitely need to work on. And I know like other people probably go through that too, when it's like you don't even want to go to the doctors because you're scared to find something out. And so yeah, so she just kind of talks me off of a ledge when I'm like, oh, okay, I'm dying, I have toe cancer, or I don't know what else I've thought about that. I'm like, oh, I'm dying because I have a headache. It's like everything. I just freak out about the littlest things. And so I ended up doing a GI map. My GI map showed some pretty interesting information. Like if there was a place for people to start when they didn't know where to start, but they're having, metabolic issues, of course, like go and get like your blood labs done. If you can get that covered by your doctor. In Canada, we can, so, or at least some of the tests anyway. A lot of the times they just say that they won't test you for certain things unless you have an indicator for something else. So it's hard to get the full picture. So I'm really glad that I did the GI map, because when I did my own NutriBody assessment, it showed a lot of the things that I was feeling that I wanted to treat. But one of the things that were way off was I had a lot of indications for like hypothyroidism. My blood work actually showed hyperthyroidism, but my symptoms show something completely different. And so that's why it's good to test and not just guess, because if I had continued doing that, then I would have further, caused damage to my thyroid by taking supplements to try to speed it up when it's already like hyper. So yeah, that was something that I'm glad that I've done. But in the GI map, it explained a lot of the reasons why I'm having this like unnecessary weight gain. So there's like two things in there, like the firmicutes and oh my God, I can't remember. It starts with a B. But anyways, there's like a ratio of that. And if one is low, the B one is low, and the firmicutes are high, then that usually relates to obesity. And so you can have certain bacteria in your system that can cause you to gain weight or to slow down your metabolism. And it's crazy, but it's true. And the only way to really find that out is not from a blood test, but by doing a GI map and finding out what's actually, in your system. So I did that, found out that I have like really high levels of Candida, H. pylori, and then there was a bunch of different other bacteria where it was rated really high, that just sort of indicate like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And so now we're on a protocol addressing all of that. First week, I felt like poo. I didn't feel too good. And it was mostly because of the die-off symptoms of the anxiety that I was having. So I was getting a lot of anxiousness at night and I couldn't relax. So I would wake up and then I would stay awake. This is week 2 now, so I'm a lot better this week and I've actually been sleeping through the night. But oh my goodness, the inflammation that I had was crazy. And these are just die-off symptoms. So your body is releasing the toxins into your body and then it has to take it all out. And so that's why it's important that we did a liver flush before to make sure that it can carry these things out of my body and that we're making sure that my bowel movements are good and all of that so that everything is being taken out. And so all of that to say that I'm really happy with how things are going so far and I'm excited to see where they're going to go to. I know that I have this, this looming day over me. It's in July in 3.5 months, or maybe it's less than that. Maybe it's just 3 months now. I don't even know. But yeah, I have this day that's looming over me where I feel like the pressure of getting ready for my wedding and looking a certain way. But at the end of the day, I would rather be alert and be able to absorb everything that's going on than have really bad brain fog and worry that I can't enjoy myself because it's past my bedtime. Lately, I've been able to stay up much later and I am still able, to fall asleep, go to bed, wake up the next day, and like I feel good. So it's all working. And it's a struggle too, right? Like if you're going through a health protocol, let's be real. You're having to give up a lot. Like you're having to say no to certain social events. You're having to say no to different foods that you're around. You're having to say no to alcohol, even just like coffee. Like a cup of coffee right now sounds so good, but I know that it's not going to be conducive to my goals right now. And if you know me, then like I used to drink like 3 to 4, 5 cups of coffee a day. And when I talk about a cup, when I talk about a cup of coffee, it was like 2 cups of coffee because I don't believe in normal size mugs. Only big. Size matters. Okay, so now let's look at some photos so that we can see like how much inflammation I had. And these photos are from Friday the week before to Wednesday. I am in a better place now. So take a look at those. I'm just going to leave them up there so you can see them. It was very uncomfortable during that time, honestly. I was like, what's going on? Am I doing everything wrong? Is this like here to stay? And then of course, a week passes, a week and a half passes, and now I'm feeling much better. Much better. So that is basically it for my health update. I just wanted to share that. And so I'm excited to continue showing up on here and, seeing where this can go, really. Like I have no idea. Well, thanks for watching. And if you like what you see and you're interested to hear more about my story, my journey, and all of that stuff, feel free to hit the subscribe button, like it if you can, and leave a comment. I would like to know too if you've ever gone through a health protocol and how long it was and how it was going through it. Let me know in the comments below.